Hey, so Sanskrit, I am Sanskriti, and here is my partner Vedanti. So we'll be your hosts, and I think we should start. And later on, you'll get to know us a little bit more. So let's see how this goes right now.
Yes, let's not make everyone wait now. Here comes Paridhi with the tale so bold of an archer whose skills were legend old. But the sharpest shot is not always seen. Something, the target is behind the screen. We have our first performer, Miss Paridhi, with her story named The Greatest Archer. Paridhi, the stage is all yours.
Whoosh! That was the sound he lived for, the archer. So, would it really come as a surprise to you when I tell you that he was the best in his village, that he had won many accolades, and that very soon he was the best in the valley too? But still, he felt that there was more to learn. So he set off in a search of someone better than him, someone who could teach him what he didn't know yet. He traveled. He traveled far and wide, and along the way, he met many who shared their wisdom. One taught him to listen to the push of the wind, the weight of the arrow, and the sound of his own heartbeat. Another taught him to trust in the arrow and not in the distant target. A showman taught him how to dazzle people with flair and with spectacle. But his own heart started to feel dull. Something inside him whispered, "You have not met the best yet." And so he moved on. One day, deep in a forest, he saw something strange. Huge trees, tall as if they were touching the sky. But that was not what caught his eye. On each trunk, there were painted circles, yellow and red and blue. They were targets, and each target was pierced right at the center with an arrow. All of them, not a single miss. He was stunned. He couldn't wait to meet this great archer. Intrigued, he followed the trail of the targets, and soon he could see someone. So he walked faster, and finally he saw a little girl just standing there with a bow in one hand and an arrow in the other. His body couldn't trust his eyes. He had spent years and years learning the craft, and how could this girl be so good? So he asked her, "You did all this?" Nodded the girl. "I don't believe you. I challenge you to a contest." And so a contest was held. He got ready. He picked up his bow, he picked up his arrow, and he took the shot. And it met the target right at the center. She picked up her bow and arrow. She got ready, she took the position, she even closed her eyes. Not one, both of them. And she took the shot. The arrow flew into a tree far away, far, far removed from the target. Archer couldn't understand. The girl walked up to the tree, took out a paintbrush and little bottles from her pockets, and right where the arrow was placed, she drew around it a yellow circle, a red circle, and a blue circle. Bull's eye. Thank you.
Hey, that was a great story. So can you tell us a little about your experience?
Yeah. So I didn't really grow up listening to stories. I was introduced to stories when I started reading them much, much later in life. And it just opened up this magical world. You know, you could escape the reality of life, and just anything was possible over there. So when I joined the course, I was hoping to understand how to use storytelling as a pedagogical tool in my classroom to engage my students and perhaps take them into that magical world. But what happened was, I began to understand myself too. Like in the process of framing and finding the right words and finding the right voice, um, it made me reflect on my own narrative, my own fears, my own joys, and why they are my fears, and why they are my joys, and why they are my inhibitions. So this has been a lot more than just a skill building course. And I would really like to thank all the mentors, Dr. Ankit, Dr. Swati, and Jemima, who really helped me to not just gain the ability but also believe in my ability. Yeah, thank you so much.
Like all of us can empathize with you because all of the shipmates went through the same thing. So thank you for saying it out loud on behalf of all of us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Paridhi. And I would come in here to perhaps speak a few words about her. Um, Paridhi was a part of a group that was performing, and they were prepared for almost 3 weeks. And then, right before the performance, the group had a difficult moment and they had to drop out. And Paridhi was left after 2, 3 weeks of practice without a performance now. And so she picked up this story day before yesterday. And she only had 2 days to prepare it. And then she prepared a first draft and we changed it completely. And she came back with the second draft and it had a much longer beginning. And we said, can we change it again? And we changed it completely. And last night she came and it had a even different ending and we changed it. And at night, 2 a.m., she sent me a text about a new ending. And I woke up and I changed the ending. And I can see that she has been able to incorporate that. So it's rare to find such conviction and such effort that we saw in your work, Pariti. And it was really inspiring to have you to mentor you on behalf of all the mentors. So thank you so much, Pariti, for the work you did and for loving this story and giving it so much love. Um,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And some of us are children when we are young, but a lot of us remain children all our lives. And a lot of us have love for chocolates. And those who love chocolates don't just love them a little, they always love them a lot. And there is always a wish as if the world was made of chocolate. What if there was chocolate when I open the fridge or when I take open my washing machine? What if it rains of chocolate? And such a fantasy world is possible inside a chocolate factory. And now I'm inviting two people who are quite magical and quite fantastical to take us into this world of fantasy. I want to have Vinanti and Sanskriti take us to the chocolate factory.
Am I audible?
You are. And you can start whenever you're ready.
Have you ever wondered what a chocolate heaven would look like? Everyone, close your eyes and imagine a river of chocolate that flows lusciously, grass made of green licorice, cloud so light that if you ever take a bite, it would taste like the softest cotton candy ever known to humankind. This is exactly how Willy Wonka's chocolate factory looked like. One day, Willy was having his usual haircut. The little creatures in his factory went snip, snip, snip. But they froze because they found a white hair. Knowing this, Willy's face turned pale. What? A white hair? Am I about to die? It is when Willy Wonka realized that he needed to find a successor. With help of the little creatures in his factory, they were planning to shortlist 3 kids who are going to be tested. Oh, by the way, are you wondering who the little creatures are? They're the Oompa Loompa from the Loompa land. They eat caterpillar chutney with a splash of ant. One day, Mr. Wonka walked into their land and promised them cocos, which are not canned. Then off they marched from forest to land to work in the factory just as they planned. They are Oompa Loompa from the Loompa land. The Oompa Loompa were buzzed as the factory had been closed for the outsiders for years and years. Willy and Oompa Loompa had made their own world inside and made chocolates to deliver outside. Days has passed. Willy thought, thought, and thought.
Then one fine day, he called a grand assembly of the Oompa Loompas. There, he opened a poster that was going to be read to the entire world. The poster said, I, Willy Wonka, will invite 3 children into my chocolate factory. I will personally show them around. So look out for the golden ticket. The golden ticket will be placed inside of an ordinary bar of chocolate. Good luck and happy hunting. But don't forget, at the end of the tour awaits a special present. Hearing this, Oompa Loompas murmured, are we going to see 3 more Willy Wonkas? So they waited, and they waited, and they waited. The day had finally arrived. So the Oompa Loompas stood in the dark corridor. As the door opened, they shrieked, ah! What is this white light? As they had not seen sunlight in ages. The 3 kids walked in. They were called Mike, Veronica, and Charlie. Oompa Loompas now curiously look at these kids. They don't look like Willy Wonka. Because from a world that they came from, everyone looked alike. So they were very curious to see how human children looked like. On the other hand, our 3 winners, they were stunned to see the chocolate heaven. Out of them, one kid, who they called Mike, screamed, ah, save my phone, while he fell into the chocolate river. Willy Wonka said, ah, Oompa Loompas, go and save him. This kid, what to do with him? Ah, then Oompa Loompas had reached Mike. Until then, Mike had swollen into a big ball of chocolate. Looking at that, Willy Wonka said, how do I cure this little kid now? I think all he needs is a triple dose of my super vitamin chocolate, which has vitamins like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, down we go till X, Y, Z. But not vitamin S, because it makes you sick. As the Oompa Loompas dragged Mike's body out of the river, they had an itch to sing. So they started singing. Never Never, never let a child you've seen spend another day on a mobile screen. It rots the senses in their head. It kills imagination to the dead. Make them read, 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 and grow. That's the best thing they will ever know.
As Oompa Loompa sang the song, now it's turn for the second child named Veronica. As she opens the door of the new room, she sees hundreds of squirrels sitting across the table in a circular manner. And they were not just sitting, they were walking. With their tiny little hands, they were knocking to see if the nut is bad or not. Looking at them, Veronica's eyes sparkled. And she said, Willie, can you please give me one squirrel to take back home? Please, Willie, please. All I have back at home is just 3 dogs, 2 parakeets, and 1 hamster. My dad can give you as much as money you want. Please, Willie, please. To this, Willie replies hesitantly, they are not for sale. But this sets Veronica off. Off she goes to grab that one cute little squirrel. But looking at this, the squirrel set off. Hundreds of squirrels gather around Veronica. 50 hold her hands, 50 hold their legs, and one went directly to Veronica's forehead to see if she's a bad nut or not. To which Willie replied, oops, she looks like a bad nut. Oh, the squirrel grab Veronica, pick her up, and take her to the garbage bin. Looking at this, Oompa Loompa had an itch to sing. Veronica, the selfish brat, fell into the garbage. Imagine that. But who we asked let her behave like a bossy queen and not a knave. It wasn't a fate or some cruel spell. Just her parents indulged too well.
Now, the third kid, Charlie, he has only remained. Willy Wonka realizes that now is the time that he has to give away the surprise. With a heavy heart, he looks around, collecting all the memories that he had in this beautiful chocolate factory. He looks to Charlie and he says, Charlie, my boy, this factory is now yours, but only on one condition, that you and only you are allowed to stay here, and no one else. Listening to this, Oompa Loompa said, this little guy, he hasn't spoken a word since we came in. What has Willy Wonka done? Now, Charlie takes a second to soak in what has just happened. With courage, he musters. And then he says to Willy Wonka, what will I do with this factory? I mean, I don't want it. I am happy with my small family in a crooked little house. Hearing this, Oompa Loompas and Willy Wonka are mesmerized. Charlie, while leaving, had left his shadow behind. And what happens next is a story for another time. Yeah, the end.
So Sanskriti, Vinanti, how do you feel? कितनी जान जा रही है? कितनी जान वापस आ गई?
Yeah, I think अभी बहुत light feel हो रहा है. Yeah. But yes, this was a wonderful journey. I mean, the scripts were changing again and again. So we were like, what are we going to say this properly? But I mean, all the mentors, they help us so much to like say it again and again properly so that right now we're able to say something here. So thank you so much to everyone who's around. Like, this course, this has been amazing for both of us. I mean, Vinanti will speak for herself later. But here, some of my friends are present, and I've told them multiple times that I'm so lucky to find a community where everyone is so supportive. So thank you so much, Ankit, and thank you to everyone else who's there and been so supportive.
Vinanti?
Yes. Um, I think this course has been very different because I've never grown up reading storybooks as such. I've never been an avid reader. But since I have entered this course, I realized one thing. The lane, the street that I've walked all these years now look different. Now it reminds me of all time that as a kid, I'd hold my mom, dad's hand and walk through the lanes. It reminds me of me wearing the school bag and running across it. So it gives a new perspective. It gives a new imagination altogether. So yes, I would just extend my warm gratitude to Ankit sir, Jemima, Swati for being there throughout, and obviously Sanskriti, my storytelling partner, to be so kind and generous. Thank you.
Perhaps would you also like to tell if you have written these songs? How did you write these songs? Because they were fantastical songs. Yeah, how did that work?
I think what I and Sanskriti did was more than drafting. We both were more interested in those tiny little details जो सब हमको डांट रहे थे. But then leaving everything night 1 o'clock, morning 7 o'clock, all we used to do is look for rhyming words and make poems of it.
Yeah, so same with this group. This group had about 18 days to prepare, and for 15 days they were still writing the rhymes, being very proud of the rhymes, and feeling like sunane mein kya hai? We'll just show up and we'll tell the story. But I think they have done a great job of telling like a fantasy, and it's really hard to tell a story that is already known, a story that is a book, a story that is a movie. How do you tell a story that is already so strong in people's mind? How do you play with it? I think these were some of the things that you worked with and helped us see as well. So, really good work, Sanskriti. Really good work, Vinanti. Vinanti is a psychologist, and it's very interesting the story of us meeting as well. Many years ago, she was a student, a bachelor student of psychology in a college in Mumbai. Perhaps the year must be 2017 or 18.
18, 19, yeah.
Yeah, and I went there for a guest lecture, and she was there. And years back, she has contacted us again, and now I see her as a professional psychologist. And Sanskriti herself is a volunteer who works with Robin Hood Army, and that was our source of connection. And I am very proud of both of these, and I see them having a lifetime of career in using stories with the people they'll work with. So I really look up to you both. Thank you, Sanskriti. Thank you, Vinanti.
Thank you, Ankit.
Thank you.
And आपने जहाजों को उड़ते देखा है? देखा होगा. आपने पत्तों को उड़ते देखा है? देख लिया होगा. आपने हाथी को उड़ते देखा है? एक जमाना था जब हाथी उड़ा करते थे. एक हाथी नहीं, कोई खास हाथी नहीं, सभी के सभी हाथी. एक ऐसा जमाना था जब उड़ा करते थे. आइए जानते हैं इस समय के बारे में, इस जगह के बारे में. और हमें यहां तक ले जाने के लिए हमारे साथ आ रहे हैं मोहिनीश. तो मोहिनीश, स्वागत है आपका. जब भी आप तैयार हो, आप कहानी को शुरू कर सकते हैं.
मैं ऑडिबल?
जी.
Cool. ये उस हिंदुस्तान की बात है जब लोग बड़े से आम के पेड़ के नीचे खटिया लगाकर सो जाया करते थे. ये उस हिंदुस्तान की भी बात है जहां पे लोग शाम के समय साथ आकर एक चौपाल लगाकर थोड़ा सा बतियाया करते थे. अजी, ये उस हिंदुस्तान की बात है जहां पर हाथी उड़ा करते थे. सलेटी विशाल काय हाथी गर्व से आगे बढ़ते हुए बस उन्हें अपने कान फड़फड़ाने की देरी रहती थी और वो फुर्र से हवा में उड़ जाते. हाथी अपने भाइयों जैसे थे. वो जो बनना चाहते वो बन जाते. कभी वो राक्षस बन जाते तो कभी वो छोटी सी बकरी बन जाते. कभी वो किलों की लंबी दीवार जैसे चौड़े बन जाते तो कभी वो शहरों की गलियों जैसे पतले और सिकुड़े बन जाते। एक बार ऐसे ही हाथी मस्त अपना चलकर कहीं जा रहे थे, बादलों से होते हुए। वो देखते हुए जा रहे थे कि कुछ बच्चे मैदान में खेल रहे हैं, तो कहीं कोई किसान जुताई कर रहा है। उन्होंने ये भी देखा कि एक नदी है जहां पे हट्टी कट्टी भैंसें मजे से नहा रही थी, और उन्होंने ये भी देखा है कि एक जादुई जंगल है जहां पे कुछ बातूनी बंदर है और वो बहुत बतिया रहे हैं। वो जैसे ही एक बादल से मुड़े कि एक गर्म हवा का झोंका उनके बगल से निकला और उनकी सूंड में जा घुसा। अजी हवा क्या थी, काली मिर्च थी एकदम। हाथी लगे बौखलाने और इधर उधर दौड़ने लगे, और इस तलाश में ढूंढने लगे कि कोई एक छाव जैसी जगह मिले जहां पे वो थोड़ा आराम कर सके। उन्हें दूर एक बड़ा सा आम का पेड़ दिखा, और सभी हाथी धीमे धीमे उस पेड़ के ऊपर उतरने लगे। अब किस्मत से उस पेड़ के नीचे एक मास्टर और कुछ बच्चे भी थे। मास्टर करीबन 6 फीट, चौड़ा सीना और हमेशा सफेद रंग का पोशाक पहनते थे। उस दिन मास्टर जी बहुत गुस्सा थे। गुस्सा इसलिए भी थे क्योंकि उस दिन शहर में बहुत गर्मी थी, तो बच्चे बिल्कुल बैठ नहीं पा रहे थे। सबसे पहले तो वो पेंसिल तोड़ते, फिर थोड़ा सवाल गलत करते, और फिर नन्हे चूहों की तरह कुल बुलाकर इधर उधर दौड़कर भागने लग जाते। मास्टर जी थक गए थे। मास्टर जी गुस्से से उठे और डंडा जोर से जमीन पर मारा और बोलते हैं, अगर ये बच्चे आज नहीं मानते हैं तो मैं इन्हें खरगोश बना दूंगा। और वो जैसे ही एक शरारती बच्चे की तरफ अपना हाथ बढ़ाते हैं, तभी ऊपर बैठे हाथी उनके ऊपर टकले पर गिर जाते हैं और सभी नीचे धड़ाम से गिर जाते हैं। मास्टर जी नीचे, हाथी ऊपर। हाथियों को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा। हाथी उठे और धीमे धीमे अपना दूसरे आम के पेड़ की तरफ जाकर उड़ने लगे। मास्टर जी फिर उठे, कहते हैं, कमबख्तो, कहाँ जा रहे हो, रुको, मैं अभी तुम्हें मजा चखाता हूं। और उन्होंने अब धीरे से अपनी डंडी घुमाई और एक जादू मंत्र पढ़ा। कहा, बूंद बूंद चमक चमक कान चले फड़क फड़क, सुनो हाथियों मेरी बात, उड़ना भूल जाओ अब तुम दिन रात। और जैसे ही उन्होंने ये मंत्र पढ़ा, सभी हाथी धीमे धीमे से जमीन पर उतरने लगे। दरअसल हाथी उड़ना भूल चुके थे। अब शायद से जब भी आसमान से तो वो कभी भी उन बच्चों को नहीं देख सकते जो मैदान में खेल रहे होंगे, या फिर उन किसानों को जो जुताई कर रहे होंगे, या फिर उन भैंसों को जो मजे से नहा रही थी, या फिर उन बातुनी बंदरों को जो बहुत बातें किया करते हैं। दरअसल अब हाथी उड़ना भूल चुके हैं। शुक्रिया।
मोहिनीश, तुम्हारे लिए 2 लाइन है मेरे पास।
ओके।
ओह, बूंद बूंद छिड़क छिड़क आपकी कहानी कड़क कड़क। काफी मजा आया आपकी कहानी सुन के। I don't know, I was looking forward to your performance, really. So can you tell us everything that went behind this performance?
Oh, so I'll start with a thought. On I think 29th or 30th, there was a thought कि यार अपन 15 को करेंगे। अभी आई एम नॉट रेडी, क्योंकि ठीक है किसी ने सुना नहीं है, मेंटरशिप नहीं हुआ है अभी तक, ठीक है। एंड देयर वर मल्टीपल थिंग्स गोइंग ऑन, ओके, ऑफिस में देयर आर थिंग्स गोइंग ऑन राइट नाउ। आई एम गोना मेक अ वेरी मेजर डिसीजन ऑफ माय लाइफ today, okay, and today is that this performance is going to happen. So a lot of things are going to were happening. I am also working on a product, तो 3-4 महीने से, and 31st is the deadline of that product. So from past 3 to 4 days I've been very busy now. So I think that has been there. For me, it the motivation comes from, as Paridhi said, comes from the utility of story. Like how does बच्चों के जीवन में कहानियां क्या महत्व रखती हैं, उनकी भाषा भाषा का डेवलपमेंट कैसे होता है। सो दैट इज मोर इंट्रिगिंग टू मी, एंड ऑल्सो द प्रोसेस ऑफ द लास्ट पार्ट इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ स्टोरी टेलिंग। यू प्रिपेयर स्टोरी, यू इमेजिन इट, एंड धीरे धीरे यू मेक सर्टेन चेंजेस। यू डोंट मेक major changes, you make small changes so that it enhance drastically. So I think I'm very honored I got a chance to meet Ankit and all the mentors and performers. So it's been a great journey. as I said in the group yesterday, I was looking for a community or a tribe, and I think I found one. So thank you.
I guess this is all going to be about our community, today. So, yes, thank you so much for your kind words.
Thank you.
And the next performer, what can we say about her? Yes, Miss Preeti. She's coming up with a story. I'd like to ask you guys something. Do you remember sometimes we were so brutally honest as kids? It used to be good, it used to be bad. Sometimes someone used to get into trouble for that. So our next performer, Preeti, is coming up with something like that. I present the stage to you, Preeti. You can go ahead.
Have you ever tried your very best, done everything right, but it still felt as if you failed? Today, I will tell you the story of a boy named Ping. Ping was a very quiet and gentle boy who loved to grow plants. His garden, a riot of colors, roses, lilies, beans, herbs, everything bloomed under his care. His neighbors would often say, "That boy Ping, he has some magic in his hands." Then one day, the emperor, who was an old man with no child, made an announcement. "I am growing old and I need to choose my successor. I will choose my successor not by name, not by blood, but by honesty. Each child present here today will be given one seed. Care for it. After 1 year, return with your best plant. The one who brings me the finest bloom shall be the next emperor." Ping's heart leaped. "Oh my God, this is my chance." He took the seed home, planted it in a pot filled with rich soil, watered it every day, gave it sunlight, and waited. Days passed, nothing. Weeks passed, still nothing. He whispered to the seed, "Why don't you grow? What is wrong with you? I'm doing everything I can for you. Please, please grow." But the pot stayed empty. He tried again. He changed the soil, gave it shade, gave it more sun, less water, more water. He did everything he could. But the pot still stayed empty. Children all around him were chatting excitedly. "Hey, look at mine. Mine already has 3 flowers. I think I will be the next emperor." Ping said nothing. He looked down at his pot, ashamed. The year passed and it was time to return to the palace. Ping held the pot in his hands, empty, just soil. He turned to his mother and said, "Mom, I'm not going. What will I do there? I have nothing to show. Look at all the other children. Their plants are blooming beautifully. And mine?" Mother looked at Ping and said, "Ping, my dear son, I know how hard you work, but this is your truth. Accept it. Be brave and go." And so Ping went, head down, hands trembling. The palace glittered with colors. Children stood proudly, showing off blooms of every kind: roses, tulips, lilies, sunflowers. And there was Ping, standing at the very back with an empty pot. The emperor walked down the rows, nodding, smiling politely at everyone. And then, when he reached Ping, he suddenly stopped. He looked at the pot and then at Ping. And for a moment, he didn't say anything. Finally, he smiled and said, "A year ago, I gave you all seeds that had been boiled. They could not grow. Will choose my successor not by name, not by blood, but by honesty. Yet, you people came back with pots full, except this boy. He placed his hand on Pink's shoulder and said, "Son, you came back with an empty pot and an honest heart. You shall be the next emperor." And so Pink, who went with nothing, was chosen for everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Preeti ji. Thank you for reminding us that the world still has honesty. Thank you for reminding us the moral that we've learned as a child, that the honesty is the best policy. What are the few words that you want to say about your journey, Preeti?
Yeah, my journey has been very good. I never thought about being a storyteller until I saw Swati performing. And that inspired me a lot. And then I'm so grateful to have a mentor like Ankit. I could not have got a better one. So this journey has been very good, and I hope to continue it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Preeti.
Thank you, Preeti. I would also come in to thank you because um, you put a very sincere effort in the last week to practice this story over and over. And as you described, you were inspired by Swati, who was inspired by another storyteller, who was inspired by another storyteller. So this is such a good infection to spread. And I really like this fact that when a teacher comes from a school and they learn this and they go back, they tell a story and it creates a sense of like love and envy that others also want. We also want that the teacher has, and it brings in this infection of that stories, and I think this is a good infection to spread. So really thank you for Swati for actually bringing in so many people from your school and your circle to this circle. It's also the kind of infection Neeraja Akka has been spreading on our behalf. A lot of people just come and just say, "Yeah, I don't know you, but I know Neeraja Akka said so. I've just come." And I think that is the kind of
Because
energy and love
Neeraja is there.
we love. Yeah. Thank you, Preeti. Thank you so much. How does it feel now? How is your body now? Is it relaxed? Can you sleep now?
Shivering a bit, but thankfully it all went well.
Yes. Thank
All
you.
thanks to you, Ankit. Could
No,
not
that's
have been possible without you and Swati.
mm, thank you. Thank you, Preeti.
Okay, so before we move on to the next performance, let's take a quick little break.
Wait. Vinanti,
What happened, Jemima?
I have something to ask. I've just been wondering about something. Can I ask?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I wanted to ask you and Sanskriti, कैसा लगा?
अच्छा लगा.
अच्छा लगा.
अरे कैसा लगा?
अरे अच्छा.
अच्छा लगा.
कैसा लगा?
अच्छा लगा.
All right. Dear audience, you must have watched us demonstrate the small little fun activity that we wanted to invite you to participate. So those of you who would like to participate in this small little fun activity that we will do again, you can unmute yourselves and respond when I ask. Okay. All right. Okay. Audience, कैसा लगा?
अच्छा लगा.
कैसा लगा?
अच्छा लगा.
कैसा लगा?
अच्छा लगा.
कैसा लगा?
अच्छा लगा.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for participating. Over to you, Sanskriti and Vinanti. Back to you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you so much, Jemima. And I think this is time for us to take a little break, stretch our bodies, and drink some water. We will be back in 3 minutes. It's 4:45 by my clock. We will come back by 4:48. I think one of the joy of watching teachers um, is to see them as people. In this moment, I'm just reminded of this course actually that we are offering now, started in 2018. And I remember I was sitting in a government school in the playground and I was asking children, what kind of teachers do you like? Who is a good teacher to you? And I remember this boy, and he was very articulate. He says, कि सर, टीचर दो तरह के होते हैं. एक जो जिंदगी भर टीचर ही रहते हैं, और दूसरे होते हैं मजेदार टीचर. और ये बात मुझे उसकी इतनी अच्छी लगी कि कुछ टीचर होते हैं जो जिंदगी भर अपने उस टीचर की अथॉरिटी या उस टीचर के रोल या उस टीचर की जो जिम्मेदारियां हैं उनसे कभी बाहर आने का उनको मौका नहीं मिलता. पर कुछ टीचर हैं जो खेल ले जाते हैं, जो उन जिम्मेदारियों के आसपास रास्ता ढूंढ लेते हैं, जो थोड़ा बहुत बाहर किसी और को सौंप के थोड़ा सा खुद खेल लेते हैं. तो इस कोर्स को जब पहली बार हमने रन किया था तो उसका नाम मजेदार टीचर्स था. और इसी बच्चे की बात से हमने शुरू किया था. और ये मुझे इसलिए भी याद आया क्योंकि हम में से बहुत सारे लोग आज जब अपनी ऑस्कर स्पीच दे रहे हैं, कल भी दे रहे थे, तो ये कह रहे थे कि उन्हें लगा था कि हम तो ये सीखेंगे कि बच्चों को कहानी कैसे सुनाई जाती है, पर यहाँ पर पूरी कहानी हमें लेकर ही हो गई, हमारे ऊपर ही सारा काम हो गया. पर ये बड़ा जरूरी भी है क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि कहानी की एक जो डोमिनेंट अंडरस्टैंडिंग भारत भर में है, दुनिया में भी है, वो अक्सर हम उसे एक काफी एक्सटर्नल स्किल के रूप में देखते हैं कि एज अ पर्सन आप कैसे भी हो, बस आप थोड़ा सा वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन कर देंगे, एक्सप्रेशंस ले आएंगे, तो आपकी कहानियां बच्चों को मजा आ जाएगा. लेकिन अक्सर ऐसा होता नहीं है. Children can see through us. They can see what kind of person we are. And that is why we feel storytelling is way more about becoming the kind of person that children want to see rather than just telling stories. So if a person is very authoritative, I don't think any stories they tell would actually make any difference, no matter how fluent they are. A teacher has to look approachable. They have to be playful. If a teacher is very attached to the ego, I don't think children would come close to such teachers. And no matter how loving their stories are, I don't think children would be drawn to such teachers. And so I feel um, while the external skills and techniques are a part of this, but they are a very small part of this. Most of this is just becoming the kind of teachers children want us to be. We want us ourselves to be. So I want to thank all the teachers who have come so far and told the stories. And now I welcome even more teachers who are about to come and tell the stories. Vinanti, Sanskriti, would you like to tell us who's coming next?
Yes. So up next we have Sumangala. She's going to narrate a story that will remind us that no matter how dark the storm was, the sky still does clear up. It's a gentle echo for hope, for the times when we feel heavy and we feel still. So Mangala, the stage is all yours.
Hello, everyone. So, let me tell you a story. It's a Jewish folklore. Okay. So, once there was a king, a mighty king, King Solomon, wealthy beyond imagination and wise beyond his years, but tormented. Tormented of the ups and downs of life. Joy could lift his spirit high, very high. But sorrow could crush him down like the waves. So one day, he summoned all his ministers and told them, bring me something, anything that would bring peace to my heart, that would humble me in joy and comfort me in pain. Days passed, weeks, nothing. But one day, the wisest of one of his ministers came forward with a small ring. Plain, simple, nothing special at all. But on that were etched the four magical words: "This too shall pass." The king frowned at first. This? This is what you bring me? But the minister said, "Sir, time has a way of revealing itself." Years passed. Once the kingdom was suffering from major drought. Crops withered away. Rivers stopped flowing. Lands dried. The king, even though surrounded by gold, he cannot make it rain. He visited his village. He saw the hungry children, the mothers worried. The pressure crushed him down. He was sitting in his chamber one night, feeling helpless. He raised his hands to pray, and then he glimpsed the four magical words: "This too shall pass." And in that moment, something softened in his heart. The drought has not ended, but it gave him the power, the strength to lead his people with hope. Years passed by, everything was fine. One year, the king won the mightiest battle. Trumpets echoed everywhere. The village chanted the king's name and were dancing on the streets. In that moment, the king came to his palace balcony, lifted his hand, and waved. He felt invincible. But then he glimpsed the four magical words: "This too shall pass." He lowered his hands. He went inside his balcony, went inside his room, and he understood this triumph is temporary. Isn't it funny how four words can hold the secret to peace? So, my friends, when life is hard, remember, this too shall pass. And when life is perfect, hold it like a blooming flower, gently, because this too shall pass. Thank you.
Hey, Sumangla, it was a beautiful performance. And
You.
yeah, like we should say to the audience that you shouldn't stay a lot or dwell a lot in this performance because this too shall pass. So we're happy to hear about how your journey was. Could you say a few words?
Um, so I am a maths teacher by profession, and being a maths teacher, sometimes it's very boring, you know, teaching the same derivatives, integration, and all those things, equations. And I wanted to do something different. And this course was a gift to me by myself. And I may not have been the best student for Dr. Ankit, Dr. Swati, Jemima, But I want to say that you were the best mentors I could get. And Meghna, I fell in love the first time you recited that fox and tree story. Jemima, Dr. Swati, you were my mentors during those Sunday sessions. I missed many of the main sessions, but I attended the Sunday sessions, and I learned a lot. I mean, in one word, what I gained from this is, I can say, confidence. Confidence is the word. I mean, confidence is what this course gave me. So, thank you very much. And I take this moment to thank everyone in the audience also. I have my friends, my colleagues, my professor, and as well as my students attending this session. Thank you so much, everyone, for making me feel so loved, so loved. Thank you so.
The students of Sumangala were all over the pass requests. They would write Sumangala ma'am rocks. And that's how I got to know Sumangala is a maths teacher. And then I inquired around and I see that so many of the people who are right now in the audience are her students and people who
And
know
even
her as
friends.
well. So we had no idea she's a celebrity too. So she's another person for whom there were a lot of requests, people urging if they can just come and see her, and that was so good to see. That's so good to see, Sumangla. And we're looking forward
Thank
to
you.
seeing more and more of you. Today we
Thank you so
saw
much.
you having this performance, and we loved it. I think perhaps in coming days you'll see the recording and you'll look at people's faces, and you would notice how it felt like the time had stopped when you were reciting those lines about this too shall pass. So thank you for giving this sense of deep peace to all of us. Thank you,
Thank you so
Sumangla.
much.
So Mangal, I would say the chats is filled with your students writing. So Mangala ma'am is the best. I think you should go and read it while you take a little break. Yes, so we move on. We all live in a world which is full of things, materialistic things. We are so indulged in that there comes a point where we get confused. What is important? Things or relationship? And then we ponder and we think, no, I think this is important. No, I think this is important. I think to look at this confusion, we should call upon next Manohar, who is going to narrate a story named The Blue Umbrella. Manohar, the stage is all yours.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, Manohar, you are. You can go ahead.
ये कहानी है मसूरी के पास के एक छोटे से गांव की। इस गांव में एक छोटी लड़की रहती थी। उसका नाम था बिन्या। बिन्या गांव में अपने माँ और भाई के साथ रहती थी। वो दोनों स्कूल होने के बाद अपने गाय और भैंसों को चराने के लिए जंगल में लेके जाते थे। एक दिन जब बिन्या और उसका भाई गांव में अपने गाय और भैंसे को चराने के लिए लेके गए थे, तब बिन्या को वहां पे एक टूरिस्ट फैमिली दिखी। बिन्या बहुत ही क्यूरियस लड़की थी। वो धीरे 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 उस फैमिली के पास गई और वहां पे उसे एक सुंदर सा नीला छाता दिखा। छाता बहुत ही सुंदर था। वो मखमली कपड़े से बना हुआ था। उसके ऊपर सुनहरे धागे से बहुत ही अच्छे अच्छे डिजाइन्स बनाए थे। बिन्या उस छाते को देखते ही रह गई। तभी एक टूरिस्ट महिला की नजर बिन्या पे गई और उसने उसको पास बुलाया। पास बुलाकर उसने वो छाता बिन्या को देखने के लिए दिया। जब बिन्या वो छाता देख रही थी, तब टूरिस्ट महिला की नजर बिन्या के गले में एक सुंदर सा लॉकेट था, उस लॉकेट पे गई। उस लॉकेट का पेंडेंट एक बाघ के नाखून से बना हुआ था। वो लॉकेट उस महिला को बहुत पसंद आया और उस महिला ने बिन्या को कहा, बिन्या, तुम मुझे वो छाता दे दो, सॉरी, तुम तुम मुझे वो लॉकेट दे दो और ये छाता ले लो। जैसे ही बिन्या ने ये सुना, बिन्या ने तुरंत वो लॉकेट निकाल के उस महिला को दिया, वो छाता लिया और बिन्या दौड़ते 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 अपने गांव में गई। गांव में जाके वो छाता उसने हर एक इंसान को दिखा। वो छाता हर एक को बहुत बहुत पसंद आया। लेकिन अब कुछ लोग बिन्या से ईर्ष्या करने लगे। इसमें एक गांव में छोटा सा दुकान चलाने वाला राम भरोसे भी था। राम भरोसे को वो छाता बहुत पसंद आया और उसे वो मन ही मन लगता था कि वो छाता उसके पास रहे। एक बार राम भरोसे ने बिन्या से पूछा भी, बिन्या, मुझे वो छाता दे दो। बिन्या ने कहा, नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल ये छाता किसी को भी नहीं दूंगी, किसी भी कीमत पे नहीं दूंगी। राम भरोसे दुखी हो गए। कुछ ही दिनों में राम भरोसे के दुकान में काम करने वाला एक छोटू था। छोटू को समझ में आया कि राम भरोसे को वो छाता बहुत पसंद है। उसने राम भरोसे से कहा कि आप मुझे 200 रुपए दे दो, मैं बिन्या से वो छाता लेके आपको दे दूंगा। राम भरोसे ने तुरंत 200 रुपए निकाल के उसको दे दिए। फिर उस दिन से छोटू रात दिन बिन्या का पीछा करना लगा। बिन्या को वो छाता बहुत पसंद था। वो छाता वो कभी भी नीचे नहीं रखती थी। लेकिन एक दिन जब बिन्या और उसका भाई जंगल में गए थे, तब बाय चांस बिन्या ने वो छाता नीचे रखा। छोटू ने जैसे ही वो देखा, पलक झपकते ही छाता उसने पकड़ लिया और दौड़ने लगा। जैसे ही बिन्या और उसके भाई ने ये देखा, तो वो भी उसके पीछे दौड़ने लगे और दौड़ते दौड़ते उन्होंने छोटू को पकड़ लिया। छोटू ने अपने को बचाने के लिए कहा कि राम भरोसे ने उसे धमकी दी थी, अगर वो छाता उसको नहीं देगा तो उसका जॉब चला जाए। ये बात गांव में हवा की तरह फैल गई और सारे लोग अब राम भरोसे से नफरत करने लगे। जिस दुकान में बहुत भीड़ होती थी, अब उस दुकान में कोई भी जाने के लिए तैयार नहीं था। वो दुकान अभी सुनसान रह गया। बिन्या हर रोज उस दुकान के सामने से जाती थी और वो देखती थी कि वो दुकान सुनसान है और इसके वजह से राम भरोसे का बहुत ज्यादा नुकसान हो रहा है। बिन्या बहुत दुखी हुई और एक दिन उसने निश्चय किया कि वो राम भरोसे को माफ कर देगी। फिर एक दिन बिन्या ने कुछ पैसे लिए और वो राम भरोसे के दुकान में गई। उसने कुछ चॉकलेट्स लिए, लेकिन उसने जानबूझकर वो छाता वहां पे छोड़ दिया और वो चली आई। जब वो जा रही थी, तब राम भरोसे ने वो छाता उठाया। वो दौड़ते दौड़ते बिन्या के पास गया और उसने कहा, तुम्हारा छाता ले लो। लेकिन बिन्या ने इनकार किया। वो कही, मुझे ये छाता नहीं चाहिए। शुरू में तो राम भरोसे माना नहीं, लेकिन बिन्या की जिद के सामने उसका कुछ भी नहीं चला। अंत में राम भरोसे ने वो छाता रख लिया। फिर उसने वो छाता अपने काउंटर पे रख दिया। लोग आते जाते उस छाते को देखते थे और उनको समझ में आया, एक छोटी सी लड़की बिन्या ने राम भरोसे को माफ कर दिया है और लोगों ने भी राम भरोसे को माफ कर दिया। फिर से सारी भीड़ अब राम भरोसे के दुकान में आई। फिर राम भरोसे प्रॉफिट भी बढ़ गया। फिर एक दिन गांव में भालू आया। भालू राम भरोसे के दुकान के पास भी आया। आस पास के फल उसने खाए और वो राम भरोसे के दुकान के छत के ऊपर भी चढ़ गया। आके भी उसने फल खाए और फिर वो जाने लगा। जाते वक्त उसका पैर राम भरोसे के दुकान में फंस गया। राम भरोसे ने पैर कैसे तो निकाल दिया, लेकिन पैर निकालते वक्त उसका नाखून टूट गया। दूसरे दिन जब राम भरोसे ने दुकान खोला, तब उसने भालू का एक नाखून दिखा और जैसे उसने वो नाखून देखा, उसने कुछ पैसे अपने दुकान में से लिए, वो नाखून लिया और वो पास के ही गांव में चला गया। वहां से उसने एक सुंदर सा चांदी का लॉकेट भालू के नाखून के पेंडेंट से बना, और वो फिर अपने गांव में आया और वो लॉकेट उसने विन्या को दिया। थैंक यू।
Manohar ji, thank you. Thank you so much for your wonderful story. You know, I think हम सबके पास, जैसे कि आपकी कहानी में लिखा है कि एक अजीज चीज थी, I think every one of us has something so dear to us कि वो छूटे ना तो दिल ऊपर नीचे हो जाता है। तो आई मीन आपका दिल ऊपर नीचे हुआ रहेगा ये कहानी लिखते वक्त भी। तो क्या आप कुछ बताएंगे उसके बारे में?
हाँ, एक्चुअली जब मैंने ये कहानी सुनी थी फर्स्ट ही पहली बार मैंने सुनी थी, तो मुझे कहानी बहुत, तब से मेरी सबसे वन ऑफ द फेवरेट स्टोरी है। और मैं कोई भी चांस नहीं छोड़ता हूँ ये कहानी सुनाने का। सो इनिशियली तो मैंने कुछ अलग कहानी सिलेक्ट की थी, लेकिन जैसे ही अंकित ने बोला कि हम कहानी चेंज कर सकते हैं, तो मैंने तुरंत ही ये कहानी सिलेक्ट की कि मुझे ये कहानी नरेट करनी है। और मैंने प्रिपेयर कर, तो प्रिपेयर करना ये कहानी मेरे लिए बहुत इजी था, बिकॉज आई लव दिस स्टोरी अलॉट।
तो yeah, I think like that story like अच्छा लगा, you know, like good decision.
ये बड़ी प्यारी बात आपने कही मनोहर जी। मुझे इससे हैरी पॉटर याद आता है, जहाँ पे पहली बार हैरी जा रहा है और उसको एक छड़ी मिलती है, और ये सवाल आता है कि क्या हम कहानियों को चुनते हैं या कहानी हमें चुनती है। जैसे कि जादूगरों में बोला जाता है कि क्या हम छड़ी को चुनते हैं या छड़ी जादूगर को चुनती है। ऐसा अक्सर हमने देखा है कि कभी कभार हम कहीं होते हैं और हमें कोई कहानी सुनने को मिलती है, और फिर वो कहानी हमें छोड़ती नहीं है। हम उसके बाद सो नहीं पाते, हम उसके बाद कहीं भी होते हैं तो हमें लगता है कि कुछ तो मौका मिले और ये कहानी हमारे अंदर से बाहर आ पाए। मनोहर जी की एक बहुत खास बात जो मुझे लगी कि उन्होंने दो तीन दिन पहले तक वो जो इस कहानी पे काम कर रहे थे, हमें ऐसा लगा कि शायद वो इस मंच के लिए सही ना हो, और ऐसे में हमने उनसे गुजारिश की और उन्होंने फिर भी हमारी बात मानते हुए भी एक नई कहानी उठाई और इसे तैयार किया, और लगभग लगभग अपने दम पर ही तैयार किया। इसमें बहुत ही कम सपोर्ट हम सब की तरफ से मिल पाया, ज्यादातर उन्होंने खुद ही ये भार अपने कंधों से उठाया। तो बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मनोहर जी। और कल की ही एक कहानी की तरह मुझे आपके लिए भी बोलना है कि आपकी आवाज में, जैसे कल हम कोमल जी को सुन रहे थे, उसी रूप से बहुत सारी मिठास है। सुनते वक्त हमें ऐसा लग रहा था कि हम किसी लोरी को सुन रहे हैं, और अगर मौका मिले हम कैमरा बंद करके लेट जाएं और ये कहानी चलती रहे और हम धीरे धीरे अपने सपनों की दुनिया में पहुंच जाएं। तो बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मनोहर जी ये कहानी सुनाने के लिए, और इसी तरह की कहानियां सुनाते रहिए।
थैंक यू।
मनोहर जी,
आई
अपने
जस्ट वांट
काम
टू
के
से,
बारे में हमें कुछ बताएंगे? कुछ कुछ बताएंगे हमें, आप कहाँ हैं, क्या काम
यस,
करते हैं?
मैं टीचर हूँ और बच्चों को लगभग टीचिंग प्रोफेशन में 10 सालों से हूँ। मैं कुछ बस्तियों में भी जाके वीकली बच्चों से इंटरेक्ट करता हूँ, उनको मैथ्स और स्टोरीज सुनाता हूँ। और मेरे में का फर्स्ट माय मेंटर्स ऑफ टू टेल द स्टोरीज माय स्टूडेंट्स ओनली। जब मैंने पहली बार जॉब किया था, तब मैं स्टोरी सुनाने लगा था, लगभग 1 डेढ़ साल उस बैच में। आई डोंट रिमेम्बर दैट बैच नेम, स्टूडेंट्स नेम्स, बट they give me a lot of support. They listen to my stories a lot, and they made me a storyteller at that time. But then afterwards it stopped. um, then then thanks to Anuj and guys here, they have introduced me to Ankit, and thanks to Swatiji also and Jamana also to mentor me. I was not able to take much of acting skills from this session, but of course I have taken a lot of good content from this session, and of course I will work on the skills also. Thank you very much.
Oh, I think we should move on. So, before that, to ask Vinati a question. पता नहीं अचानक से याद आया.
कौन
Vinati,
आया
did
संस्कृति?
you read that book that I gave you yesterday?
Which one?
The Lorax?
No, Sanskriti, that was 350 pages. I don't have that much of time to read. I
Vinati.
just wish कोई बस मुझे वो नरेट करके बोल देता यार.
Oh my God, Vinati. कितने का नंबर बढ़ गया है तुम्हारा. 300 नहीं 30 पेज था वो.
Oh.
Okay, but lucky for you, we have a few members here today जो हमें ये कहानी नरेट करके बताए. So let's welcome Kalpana and Ratna. Kalpana and Ratna, I pass the bait to you.
Once upon a time, way back, when I came to this place, it was vibrant with miles and miles of truffula trees, and the creatures here lived in harmony. The brown bear barbaloots were happily climbing the truffula trees and eating the truffula fruits. And swanny swamps, they were singing a sweet note and flew around in the clean blue sky. Humming fish, they were swimming and humming in crystal clear water. Who am I? I am the businessman. Everyone says I'm a dreamer. But when I came to this place, I felt I can make my dreams come true. I just knew what to do. These bright colored tufts of the trees, they are soft like silk and they smell like butterfly milk. I am going to use these tufts of the tree to make socks. I can even make hat. Oh, lot of possibilities. What can I call it? Things everyone need. Green, greenish. I unloaded my cart and built a small shop. With one chop, I cut down the first truffula tree and knitted the greenish. That instant, I heard a kazoom. I looked. I saw something popped out of the stump of the tree. Out came a creature that seemed somewhat oldish, shortish, mousy.
Ratna, just as this creature arrived, we missed your voice because you got muted. So, can you tell us again what happened when this creature arrived?
Oh, this creature, it came out and it was seemed somewhat oldish, shortish, mousy, and he spoke with a voice that was bossy.
I am the guardian of the Truffula forest, the lorax. I live in this forest with my friends, the swans, the fish, the brown bear. Mr. Businessman, can you see the beautiful trees sway in the air, giving clean, sweet smell? I speak for the trees, as the trees have no tongues. What have you made out of my trees?
Look, Lorax, there is no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. In fact, I am being quite useful. This thing, it's my product. It's my baby. It's greenish. You can make lot of things with greenish. You can make shirt, sock, glove, hat, pillows, carpet, curtains, seat covers too.
You are crazy with greed. There is no one on the earth who would buy that fool greenish of yours.
See, just in front of you, it got sold. He happily bought it for 398. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy.
I don't want to listen to your stupid business dealings. You are on borrowed time. You are chopping trees as fast as you please.
I'm busy. I have no time for you. It's what everyone does. I have to call my family and friends to make greenish faster than ever.
This time, I speak for the brown bears. My brown bears used to play in the shade of the trees, eat the truffula fruits, but now they are hungry, getting crummies in their tummies. There aren't enough trees left.
Oh, please, Lorax. Business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies. Lorax, see how many people are working in my factory. The greenish, it's a big hit. We are shipping greenish to north, south, east, west, in every direction.
You dirty businessman, be careful. More smoke has filled the sky. We can't even see the sky. The sky is smelling bad. Your garbage is causing the deepest grief. My poor swans can't sing sitting on the top of the trees. Their throats are choked because of the smoke. Your machinery chugs all day non-stop, making noise, gluppity glup and schluppity schlup. You're making smogulous smoke. And what do you do with your leftover goo? You're glumping the pond where the humming fish used to hum. Now their gills are all gummed.
I have my right, sir. If there is a smog, I will make a smog clearing machine and I can sell it too. I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, I am figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering. Who cares about your smog or your fish? I am making money.
I'm pleading you. It's not about your need, it's about your greed. With every chop of the axe, only silence and stump remains. Please, please protect this place. Oh my god, the last truffula tree has fallen down. All my friends have left this place as their homes are destroyed. I am also leaving now. Nothing is getting better. Nothing is getting better. Enough. You must clean this up. But before I go, I have to do something. Goodbye, businessman.
Last tree fell. Along with that, no more tufts to make greenish. My family and friends left. No more factory, no more people. Only I was alone in this place. After everyone left, I remembered Lorax. He said something when he left. He carved something. Unless, what did that mean? Now that you all are here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. It's the last seed. You are in charge. Plant it, treat it with care, grow a forest. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. Not just one Lorax. We need many more Loraxes. Unless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ratna. Thank you, Kalpana. That was such a amazing performance. Thank you so much. आप लोगों ने मुझे संस्कृति से बचा लिया, नहीं तो मुझसे पूरा बुक पढ़वा के रखती. Why don't both of you say something about your journey of story, your journey of growth? Whoever wants to go first, Ratna ji.
Yes, I love stories from, grandma, mom, all used to say stories. But so it's always a part of me. And when I became a teacher, I know, to get the attention and keep the focus, stories need to be, part of teaching learning process. And when I met Ankit in my design thinking course. And when I heard he is going to do a storytelling course, I wanted to join. So I joined immediately, and it was a wonderful experience. And yes, of course, as everyone said, it was an amazing community where whenever you ask for any help, they are ready to help. And yes, You heard, right? He said Paridhi was doing 2 o'clock and everything, but you might have heard also at 2 o'clock he also replied. That is what, you know, we have that kind of a mentors we have. And I love that. And also I really love the way he give honest feedback. That really, helped us to grow in this process. Hats off to you, Ankit, for this storytelling course, and I really want more and more teachers get this exposure, so it will be helpful to all of us. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to grow more and more.
Yeah. Um, so for me, the storytelling session stories has always been a wow moment for me. I have been thinking of, doing something related to storytelling, but I never knew that, and I never dreamed of getting into a storytelling session today. But yes, I'm here sitting before you all. I did a course with Ankit because I'm not a teacher by profession, because I see here many teachers talking about their experiences in teaching in class. But I look at this for my own personal growth, and that is where I met Ankit and I did speak to him. And I'm learning, and I'm still, challenged to learn more. It has been an amazing journey for me. Thank you so much to all of you, all of you.
Yes, definitely. Oh, and Jemima, thank you so much. I just, I was keep texting her back and forth. Thank you so much, Ankit, Jemima, and all of you, who helped us to be here. If we made some mistake anywhere, anything, this too shall pass. Okay.
Thanks, Ratna, for that.
Thank you. That is such a nice reminder, Ratna. And it also reminds us of the world of Manohar's story, where making mistakes is okay. The shopkeeper makes a mistake and then he corrects his mistake. And there is a community that accepts the mistake. How beautiful would such a world be? Like where we can make mistakes and be seen with our mistakes and given the time to think about our mistakes, to be able to go back and say that I did make this mistake and yet be accepted and loved. I think that's the kind of world we are wishing. Um, but I heard from my theater friends that for some people to experience magic, others have to create it. Like magic in this world is not given, it's not a default. For every Santa Claus you want, somebody becomes a Santa Claus. So I really look up to all of you people into becoming sources of such magic in whichever community you will go and serve, whether it's children, whether it's grown-ups, whether it's elderly people, whether it's people in institutions, in orphanages, in hospitals, in child care institutions. So I really look forward to having like thousands and thousands of us, that we are really everywhere in India and in every geography of India. And any new city you go to and you want to do something in storytelling, there should be hundreds of people wanting to welcome you just the way this community welcomes you. So that is the kind of daydream we are working towards. So thank you, Kalpana, and thank you, Ratna, and Sanskriti and Viranti. Over to you.
Thank you, Ankit. So, after this is the last story that remains. Have you guys ever wondered about the most random things that happen? Like, why does giraffe have such a long neck? Or why does zebra have black stripes on them? Or maybe have you ever wondered why hippos stay in water? I don't have answers for all of these stories, but we're lucky because one of the groups is performing a story on one of these topics. So let us welcome Ananya, Nandini, and Sarvika. The stage is yours.
Long, long ago, the hippo did not live in lakes and ponds. They lived in the bushes along with all the other wild animals. And back then, the hippo did not look like how he does today. He had hair. Trust me when I say this, the hippo had a wonderful coat of brown hair and he had long silky ears. And guess what? he also had a bushy tail. And the hippo was very, very proud of that tail. Every day, the hippo had a ritual. He would go to the water, stare at his reflection, and admire himself. In fact, he was so vain that he would force all the other forest animals to admire him as well. One day, as usual, our hippo walks to the water to look at himself and admire him. So he stares into the water, sees his reflection, and says, I'm so handsome, so gorgeous. Not like that rabbit with those weird ears, that small nose, and that sad excuse of a tail. Unfortunately for the hippo, the rabbit heard him. And then the rabbit was furious. He decided to teach our hippo a lesson. So the rabbit went all over the forest, collecting dry blades of grass. And then he made a soft bed of grass under a tall umbrella tree. And finally, he went to the hippo and said, Oh, hippo, you are mighty, you are majestic. Why don't you go under that tree and take a nap? You must be tired. The hippo said, Yes, yes, I'll go take a nap. I am tired. After all, I am mighty and majestic. I deserve to be taken care of. And I'm glad, Rabbit, you've understood that your responsibility is to take care of me. So our hippo went and lied down on the bed and started to nap. And as soon as the hippo started snoring, the rabbit said, Watch out, hippo.
And then the rabbit got an idea. So he started running to the village nearby. And the villagers, well, they were having a good time. They didn't take notice of the rabbit sneaking around their cooking fires. And in one quick flash, he stole some burning embers and ran towards the hippo. And meanwhile, our hippo, he was comfortably asleep in his warm bed prepared by the rabbit. Oh, so peaceful, so unaware. The rabbit came closer towards the hippo and tossed the embers onto him. He actually put the hippo on fire. The hippo is in flames now. He woke up and then he runs and jumps into the water. He had no choice but to take a deep breath and sink below the surface, with only his eyes and nostrils showing. And he was relieved. And oh, he was angry too. But before he could chase the rabbit out of the water, the hippo stopped for a second. He looked at his reflection in the mirror, in the water. And then the moment he saw his reflection, he noticed all his hair had gone from his body, completely hairless. And so the hippo got the most terrible shock of his life.
What is it? What is wrong with me? How do I look? Oh no. The fire has burnt my hair. Oh, I'm ruined. I'm destroyed. Indeed, the hippo was a sight for sore eyes. No matter how much he looked to the left or to the right or behind, there was no hair. The long, bushy tail he was very proud of, it was all gone. In fact, without his glossy fur, his legs looked short and stubby, and his sides were bulging with fat. Oh, so much for his vanity. Poor hippo was ashamed, mortified, embarrassed, and he rushed into the water and splash. He just hid himself. Nobody should see me. Nobody should see me. I can't make anyone look at me.
And while all this was happening, our dear friend, Mr. Rabbit, who was having his laugh out loud moment, now started getting very scared. He started peeping from behind the tree with a constant twitching of his nose. Oh, what do I do? I did not expect it to go this far. Hippo, are you okay?
Okay? Is that all you have to ask? Really, Rabbit? You have ruined my life and it is all because of you.
I'm sorry, Hippo. Calm down. Calm down. I really did not want things to go this far, Hippo. But all this while, Hippo, you made us feel really small. Your proud laugh and those jokes have always belittled us. But I'm really sorry. I did not want it to go this far. But nevertheless, Hippo, I hope you've learned your lesson. And yes, indeed, Hippo did learn his lesson because he was weeping with shame and embarrassment as he sank down further into the water, just revealing his eyes and nose. From that day till today, hippos are the creatures of the rivers and the lakes, and it's only the water who knows their secrets. And when moonlight gently falls on the entire forest, that is when our hippo walks out of the water. Our mighty and majestic hippo grazes beautifully. But when nobody is watching them, and when the whole world is probably quiet or asleep, it took Hippo a very hard lesson to teach him that it is not about the outer beauty. It is the inner beauty which stays constant. In fact, it's funny that how we sometimes need to lose what we truly treasure to know who we are, isn't it? It's the rule of life at times. And with that, my dear listeners, I leave you all with a question to ponder upon. What do you think is important? How you look or how you treat the others around you? Thank you.
That was such an amazing performance, guys. Finally, I think we have answered to why hippo lives in water, and we know for a fact that to move to the next pages of life, it's important to turn the page as well and leave certain things behind. I think we couldn't have asked for a better performance, being the last one.
I'm
Uh,
also so happy for a world and for schools where you people are teachers. So thank you. Thank you, Nandini. Thank you, Savika. Thank you, Ananya. Do you want to speak? How do you feel?
I remember in the beginning when we were discussing performing, and Ankit was like, कि no matter how much you prepare, वो खत्म हो जाएगा. And I actually feel like वो खत्म हो गया. But yeah, I'm very happy that we did this and that we did this together. It was a whole lot of fun doing it together, especially for me. And I'm very happy that all of you are here. The people who had this journey. I have a few friends here. I have family here. Even one of my teachers is here. So that's very exciting. And yeah, a big thank you to Ankit, Miss Swati, Jemima for all the love that you've given us, and to all the people who we had this journey together, and I could just see them sending love and the hearts and everything. So yeah. And a big thank you to Nandini and Ananya, because this story, I love this story. So when I went with this to them, they said, yeah, yeah, we love it too. Let's do it. So yeah.
I just have one thing to say that when I was told about this course by my mentor, in fact, my mentor was there, Rahul Bhaiya. So when he had introduced me to this course, it was a suggestion that it would be nice for you. My only aim was to enter this course to take up story as a pedagogy for my learners. But I feel that the past 3 months, And this is something which I have also told personally to Ankit, that I think I have evolved as a person. I always felt that I was very high on empathy and compassion, but there were some techniques and some things really taken up. I think, and such a beautiful safe space was created for us. I think we fought, we've laughed, we've cried, we've done everything possible in within our community, and the community has just gotten bigger. So I really feel it has been truly a very, I have changed as a person, and I know for the good. And I really have to thank Ankit, Swati ji, and Jemima. Thank you so much for responding to all my messages at no matter what point of time, no matter what you were going through, the three mentors. Thank you so much, everyone, and to the entire community for being so openly warm-hearted. Thank you.
Yeah. First of all, I think I relate to what Sarvika was saying. It's done. I was a little worried about how it would go, but I think it went well. I'm glad I had a good team to work with. Other than that, I think I want to share. So, the reason for me to join this course, I think it's a very I consider that to be a very peculiar reason to join a course. But I think in the brochure it had mentioned that you may not get a certificate for that, but maybe an experience. I think that's what really made me join this course, because I don't know why, I just felt that this is it. And I was also at a point in my life, so I have always been growing up, everyone around me had called me a daydreamer, living in my own world with stories and all of that. I think stories give me comfort, a lot of comfort. And I think with life happening, you forget that part of yourself. So I think this course was a bit of a selfish reason to join, but I'm really glad I joined, and I was able to explore this side of me. I may not, I wasn't able to connect with everyone as much as I really wanted to in the beginning, but I think I am glad that I enrolled in this course. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Ankit. Thank you, Swati ma'am. I think I've troubled you a lot with, oh, I want to join this 4:30 time, but there was a lot of confusion as well. And I think to Meghna for the Sunday sessions. So I think I've enjoyed every bit of it. And I want to learn more. I want to be more present in the coming time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just giving a context to what she's referring to by Meghna in the Sunday sessions. So we don't record our sessions because we believe that the space we are creating is only created when everyone comes live. In the past, we have recorded sessions and we realize people start dropping off, imagining someday later they'll look at the videos and then they'll learn. And that's not how learning works for an experience which is so social in experience, something like storytelling. So what we did instead was to have revision sessions where one of the learners themselves, Meghna, if you can reveal yourself, it'll be nice because people are naming you. So it'll be nice to
Yeah.
see you as well. Perhaps we will put spotlight on Meghna. Yes.
Hi,
And
everyone.
Meghna had the fortune of not just being a learner, but perhaps also taking the revision sessions in the Sunday for all other learners who ever missed the class. And that made people committed to the class and yet not miss out on any of the learning. So, yeah, Meghna, how was taking the Sunday classes?
It was wonderful. I mean, first of all, it's the first time I've had 100% attendance in any of my, learning programs, because in school I never really attended class. I was out for tournaments. I used to play basketball. College was also the same. So this was like, one of the programs that I just had to attend. Like there was no class that I missed. And I really loved the recap sessions because it gave me an opportunity to, go deeper into my learning and come out of this mental block that I cannot associate or relate to adults. So I've been working with young children for the longest of time, and that too in an offline space. To come out and get an opportunity to be mentored by mentors, how to facilitate. This was not in the plan. This was not at all in the plan. So the plan was to just practice a little bit of storytelling. I never thought that I'd get a chance to actually facilitate this for someone. So thank you to all who missed class. Although, I mean, that is why I got a chance to
deepen my learning, although I wouldn't advocate anybody missing class, but because you missed class, I got this wonderful opportunity. And thank you, Dr. Ankit. Again, Swati ma'am and Jemima. It's true. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m., morning 6 o'clock, night 11 p.m. If it's about learning, they're there for you. So I've never ever felt so grateful in my life to be a part of this kind of a community and such wonderful people, such wonderful friends. It's just been amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah.
There is someone in the audience I also want us to notice. There is a friend, Namrata. And if you have followed the chat, you must have seen the illustrations that she was drawing live. So I would want Namrata to please, if we can see and hear you for a little bit. Um, if you can turn on your video, it would be lovely for all of us to see you. And we would want you to reveal how can we find you? What's your Instagram? What's your website? Where can so many of us find you? So you are on Spotlight and you can please unmute and speak.
I don't want to be on Spotlight. I was quietly drawing and listening, and it was fun.
What do you do? Tell us, Namrata.
I am an illustrator based in Rajkot, and I attended Ankit's workshop two months ago, and it was fun. And during that workshop also, I was just quietly drawing. So I just thought, okay, I will sit here and do that. And it was nice. This is an illustrator's dream. So many stories coming together. And I can just visualize all of it. And all of you had an amazing performance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Namrata. I'm actually reminded of the day I met Namrata. I was taking a workshop with MS University in Baroda, and there were 40 people in the workshop. It was quite a small time given to us, just 6 hours. And I was feeling, what can I teach in 6 hours? So I was trying to give a taste of a little bit of everything. And by the end, I was very full of emotions and didn't know how to contain. Pretty much how many of us are feeling now, with all the tellings getting over. And this girl comes to me and shows me the diary. And in the diary is every single lesson, word, technique I have taught, and it is illustrated. And yeah, I think I didn't know how to have a closure to an experience that deep, and those illustrations really helped me go back to the memories of what I said. And when I looked at it, I was like, these words are really wise. Like I had no idea they were coming out of me until she really drew them in a nice way. And a lot of my ideas, which are very circular sometimes and do not have like a definitive form, she gave them a lot of forms, one into another, some into spirals, some spilling over one another, some going across pages, and I have not felt as seen by any other experience. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Namrata. Um, this is this is a joy to see your work. I say this because I think about 10 years ago, before this course started, I actually was trying to be a writer, and I was trying to write children's book. But the hard part was to find an illustrator. And because that did not work out for a long time, I felt like, this will not work. Maybe writing will not work. Maybe I should try telling stories orally. So, just like Meghna thanked people for missing the classes and coming to Sunday revisions, similarly, I thank illustrators for not collaborating 10 years back. And I had to give up writing and get into oral storytelling, which I believe have become like a wonderful choice. In 2016, I remember walking up to Professor Padma Sarangabani and saying, I want to run a children's newspaper, like a community newspaper. Children will write, children will draw, we will publish it, we'll distribute it, and all those fancy ideas. And she was just looking and smiling, and she's like, what about working with teachers? And I did not like teachers. I was like, I have too many teachers in my family. I don't want to work with teachers. And I think, but she kept asking these questions to me about teachers, about wanting to understand teachers. And I think back then this was also in the storytelling space one of the biggest gap that we could find. Everyone who was teaching storytelling was teaching teachers in a way as if teachers do not know a thing. I walked into some of these workshops and I really saw teachers being demeaned as if just because they are learners, as if they do not know anything. And any knowledge and any experience that teachers had was really undermined. It was as if जैसे teachers by default कामचोर हैं और इस workshop में आने के बाद अब वो ईमानदार हो जाएंगे, अब वो मेहनती हो जाएंगे. So I think the storytellers were taking too much credit for the work that teachers were actually doing on the ground. And that is when we felt the need for learning more from teachers. And this course has actually evolved by observing teachers in the classrooms and seeing what they do. And I also want to thank the original set of teachers I had the chance of observing. These were from 20 government schools in Chhattisgarh, in Dhampiri, from whom these all techniques and these all practical tips that I have shared to this new set of people emerged. It emerged from those teachers. And a lot of words that I plagiarize actually come verbatim from Professor Padma. Everything I speak about teachers, teachers' identity, teachers' work comes from her. That she has not given me in one go. And this is interesting part about her learning as well. I felt like अगर आपको सब पता है तो एक बार में बता दो ना. Why are you making me go to the field and look at research and find it by myself? If you know what I have to research for PhD, just give it to me. But she did not. And she enabled a lot of learning process for me. She enabled my visit to MIT in the US. She enabled me to go to England to learn storytelling and helped me visit fields in India, right from Mizoram to Rajasthan to Telangana to Chhattisgarh. And I spent months and months in the field in the schools. So all of this was enabled by her. And so I think even though all of you take my name for this course, the source or the kind of creator for this course is actually her. So I would want to name her. Her name is Professor Padma Sarangapani, and she herself is the student of Professor Krishna Kumar. So I think that is even bigger source of joy and inspiration for a lot of us who love his work. So I think this is how the chain and the river is flowing. It started from Professor Krishna Kumar and the mentors before him, coming to Professor Padma, coming to me, and now I have a set of people who call me sir, and it feels so funny to hear that from people who are so much more wise and so much more old and so much more experienced, and yet we are able to create a space where we give each other love and respect. So I think we have made it. I think we should applaud for ourselves. We have been able to create this space the way we daydreamed about 3 months ago. So thank you for that. And I would take some more minutes to call Dr. Swati and Jemima, who were also the mentors in this course with me. And it's so hard to be in the sessions where this guy is talking because you rarely get any chance to speak in the session. So now you have the time. Dr. Swati, Jemima, please speak.
Jem, you'll go first. Where is she?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. I want to hear you.
Okay. So, very emotional right now because it's very difficult to find a place where you can be yourself. You can cry and nobody will say, oh, she does drama all the time. She cries. You express your emotions for people and they won't say, oh, this is all. No, this is the way she is. So thank you so much, Ankit, for bringing me to this journey because I was not believing myself that I can take sessions or do the mentoring or do the recaps, but you said, no, you can do it. And that trust and that faith really changed everything for me. And again, my mentor, Dr. Nirja Raghavan, who forwarded me when in 2021, when the first run of storytelling happened. And she said, "This is very good. You should join." And I didn't think twice after that. And when Ankit approached me for this support team, and that too in the night time for the international participants, I was thinking, oh, I'm so tired. I had a big show coming in 1 week. My Hindi play was happening in the school. I called her and she said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I love storytelling. If at all possible, I'll be just leaving everything and do this. Go ahead, do it." So thank you, Nirja Akka, if you're here listening, for always pushing me to the right direction. And yes, my mentors, Sunanda Akka, I mean, she was there guiding me all the way. And as a teacher, she shaped me. So I dedicate all my teaching journey to her. And you all have seen her, the way she was in our course. She's that person. So I'm so fortunate. And this course actually taught me again my faith in believing that there is humanity, there are good people, and we can still create a safe space for listening, because it's so difficult in this period, this time. कहते हैं ना कि बस सुन लेना काफी होता है. Thank you so much. And thank you, Meghna, for taking sessions with me and helping me there. And all of you participants, I'm going to miss you all so much, though we have 3 months time and we'll be meeting every month. But let's keep this community alive, and let's go and work and reach to those places where there's nobody to listen, not to those fancy workshops, maybe those community centers, those places where kind of work Jemima is doing, she's trying to give voices to the unheard voices. So that kind of work, I think that is the main purpose of Ankit's storytelling. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Swati, I can't beat you after this. My heart is full listening to you. My love affair with storytelling, I think, began when I was a child. My mom, well, she was always a working mom. So the only time we got to see her and feel her motherly care was at night, when it was time to sleep, and there was always a story waiting. Then, of course, my uncles, my mom's younger brother, and then from my dad's side, whenever they would come to spend time with us in the village that my parents were working in, they were both community builders, I call them, building schools in the middle of jungles, and raising such beautiful children who have now become doctors, engineers. One is an air hostess. One started her own, newspaper. So these are the places where my parents kind of built schools, and we lived in huts. We slept under the sky, open sky, swam in fish ponds. So all these things make me the way I am. I think, in fact, I was telling Sanskriti and Vinanti today in one of our practice sessions that, unlike the other mentors who are trained, and they bring such structure to our learning, the only thing that I can bring is my experience. All that has shaped me is what I bring to the session. And having said that, I was having another conversation in the afternoon with Nupur. And as we were talking about, the journey of the storyteller, I think we were also talking about how, and Veena also, the conversation was with Veena. In a world that has now been overtaken by robots, AI, chat, and gadgets, technology is so advanced. um, where is our place? Where do we uh, where do we kind of find our own niche? And it is in the heart and the soul, I would say. We humanize processes. We are the ones who bring the human value into systems that we are a part of. If we are all teachers, and so we get to see students memorizing, repeating, rote learning, and sometimes thinking out of the box is a little difficult. Of course, in this day and age, and given that as teachers we are here learning to, tell stories and make a difference in the classrooms, we may be different, but there are so many others in our profession who might still, who are yet to discover this magic. I think that's a better way of saying, because I feel like when we are all here together as teachers, the profession, this community, and we can bring this magic to the classroom, our schools will not be, like a factory churning out products full of stress, full of, a single track mind about getting better marks, getting better jobs. And this is where we come in as storytellers. We bring in the heart and the soul and the curiosity and the joy of learning and the magic of the world that we live in. Despite all the pain and the suffering that we see, we have the power and the responsibility to bring stories of healing, to tell stories of healing, to create better stories, to inspire, so much of goodness that Swati was talking about, that she still has faith in humanity because of spaces like this. I just want to thank all of you for being the wonderful human beings that you are, that we are all here together, that we're all open to learning together and from each other. I don't think we've ever kind of had any spaces where, there was any kind of conflict. We did not, we were hurt by one another. I don't think we've ever seen any of such times. And even if we did, I think the value of forgiveness, because hurting each other is also part of being human, but so is grace and so is forgiveness. And this is a space that we have learned all of that. Patience, we learned patience. I think we learned a lot of patience. We learned excitement, waiting for every Tuesday. I think some of us even logged in, even on days that we didn't have class. We logged in because it became muscle memory and, heart memory. We want to see, we become restless because we want to see each other. I can't thank Ankit enough, and how I met Ankit. I still haven't met Ankit, but I know Ankit. See, that's the beauty of this space. I haven't met any of you, but I feel like I know all of you. Even if we may not recognize each other on the street, if we say that, we were in this space together, and it's like, oh, you were in my home, because this feels like home. And anywhere we meet, I hope we can recognize each other and say hi. And I hope to give you a hug in person when I do see you or meet you. I'll be in Delhi from tomorrow onwards for about 2 weeks or so. If there's a chance to meet any of you, I would love that. I would love to give you a hug in person. But for now, a virtual hug to each one of you. Thank you so much.
I want to add something to what Jemima and Dr. Swati were referring about the restoration of faith in humanity. So recently we have offered this course again. It starts in July, and as many of you who are already a part, and many of you who might have seen the brochure, we kind of have an income choice. Like, you can pay any fee that suits you. The fee starts from 3,000 and it goes up to 12,000, and you can pay any fee that seems to suit your financial capacity. And some so when I offered this, so a lot of my friends in the corporate were like, "Are you stupid? Like, do you think if there is a lower bracket, anybody would ever pay a higher bracket? Like, how are you going to verify it?" And I'm very proud to say that to this day, we never had to verify any single one of the teacher who applied. And the messages I get in the forms reflect so much of honesty that it becomes really hard to not tell those stories. I recently came across a teacher who might actually be here in the audience. I shared the link with her. Um, I think her annual income is, she's so underpaid that she earns in a year what typically government teachers get, like in a month. And yet in the form she selected like, mid-level scholarship, saying that I still believe there might be another teacher who might actually want the highest level. And when I read that application, I felt like, yeah, that's like, these techniques are so minor. Like we learn it in a week, but a teacher like this who has so much of consideration of love for other teachers, and she's not been paid for May and June for like in holidays. And despite that, she had the heart to say that maybe I don't want the maximum scholarship because probably there might be another teacher who might want it more than me. So I feel I am very joyous to have this community of people. And it is so many of you who have also enabled so many of you. I think by now nobody knows who among us actually got us the scholarship. It has never been a topic of discussion in the session, and I think it is teachers like those who have been generous to others is how we have been able to be generous to all of us. So I think I really want to thank not just that teacher. I think every single one of us, because I think these are the choices which make us want to do more and more of this, and still trust in this despite like the way we work doesn't work in the world, and yet we want to work this way. And I think it is each one of you who has enabled this. So I really want to thank all of you, all the people who have been a part of this so far, and those who are going to come. I think I really hope I could see a lot of smiling faces, and I was like, yes, this should be the person who should come. And I've started receiving a lot of love in the chat and in my WhatsApp. So I feel like now is the time I'll come and talk about the course. So thank you. Thank you, all of you. This is a part we haven't prepared ever. So anybody in the audience, if you feel the impulse to perhaps also express yourself, please do so. And I really want to thank members in the audience who turned their camera on and we could look at you. It gives us so much warmth to look at human beings. So thank you for being that human for us. Anybody who would like to talk? There.
Yeah. So can I go?
Yes.
So I'm thanking myself on behalf of Paridhi today because it was because of me that, mostly that we had to take this decision of moving the performance to the 15th. And so today, Paridhi gets a chance to go first. So when we were deciding, when to perform our group performance, she was like, no, we cannot go first ever because she has this anxiety to go first and she was preferring the second slot. So I was like, okay, fine, let's go second. But today she got the first slot, and after her performance gets over, she texts me, oh, I'm feeling so relieved. Let's go first for our performance on 15th too. I'm ready to take the dragon on the first performance. I'm like, yay. So Paridhi, I'm thanking myself on your behalf. Just like I was thanking people who missed the sessions, I think you can take this opportunity to thank me.
I would like to take that opportunity, Meghna.
I
It
see
was
that
wonderful.
hand.
Thank you,
Maybe
Meghna.
you can also unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, I'd just like to say I've said a lot in the chat as well. Honestly, the performances were great. And I loved how encouraging I could especially see Ankit's face when the speaker view was on. But I love how encouraging you are while everybody's talking. There are minor mistakes, and I think a couple of performers got stressed in a, in at one point or another because they forgot something that they'd prepared. But I love how you reacted, Ankit, with just yes, just a nod and a smile and an encouraging, yes, it's fine, go ahead. You're doing perfectly well. And for everyone, honestly, it was just so good. And it's also lovely to see this entire community love that you have going, and that this is what you're going to take forward to wherever you're going to work and with whoever, in whichever way. I mean, work formally or not. But and storytelling is, I think, one of the greatest gifts of humanity. So honestly, well done. And thank you very much.
Ranjini, do you want to go next?
Yes, I would love to. Good evening, everyone. When Tess and Ankit had actually announced this course in 2021, I had applied for it, but then had no clue as to why I wasn't chosen. And at that point of time, I was like, that's okay. This too shall pass. And then at the end of the course that Ankit had conducted, they had again, advertised narration session. And I got an invite. I said, okay, even if I wasn't part of this course, I would love to just join in and see what these people have learned and done. And I was mesmerized. I was mesmerized, and for days I used to think about all that the teachers must have learned. So the next opportunity I got when this course was offered, I jumped in. So thank you so much, Ankit, for really bringing a lot of meaning to being a teacher, actually. Thank you so much. And thank you to Jemima and Dr. Swati too.
First of all, good evening, all. So, Ankit, thank you so much for sharing this about this course and this session yesterday. So, at first, yesterday I couldn't join, but then I was thinking, should I join or not? Today, when I joined, I think I've learned something new or something more interesting because, being a school librarian, then turning myself into a storyteller, training teachers, of course, as per NEP and all. I think I need to learn more. Like, there are areas where they were rhyming and telling it, those are the things that we normally don't do. I am trained by Nupur, and but I think I need to learn more to explore more. And thank you so much. Everyone was amazing. Yes, as Anisha mentioned, the way I was looking at when somebody was getting stuck or something, you were there, like you were just going there. It's okay. It's matlab hota hai, jaane do, like that. So it was wonderful that even the person who was narrating was not feeling that ki mujhse galti. They could cover it up and do it up. So thank you so much. Everybody done so well.
Yes, Veena ji, you can go next.
Veena ji, you're still on mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Now.
Ankit, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, is my video visible?
Yeah,
Like,
video is visible.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. My internet was so bad, but I was like putting my ears right into listening to the audio, and just the audio itself was so expressive about every storytellers today. I just loved it, and I'd also listened to them in the rehearsal and here also, because there was a magic thing. So congratulations to all the performers, and I loved when Swati cried. I was like, yay! Vera, she used to give such good, precise, such loving feedback, and here she was crying and getting so emotional about it. And I think the common knowledge which almost all of us are telling you is thank you for creating that community which is so contagious of love, trust, forgiveness, whatever Jemima told, it is so damn true. And
it doesn't matter if it is virtual, but the emotions are real. So I think that is what I think all of us are taking along with you. And I didn't know that you had such an extensive experience of traveling all around the country and going to schools. It makes sense. Okay, now we know the difference between people who are sculpted with experience and to just reading or getting just upskilled about soft skills, which is also necessary and good. But being coming from city, being so much older to you, but still I could see that there's something different. There's what is it? How did you get it? That curiosity was there from the day I met you from your workshop, which was exactly 1 year back. Now it all makes sense. Oh, so the experience what we get from real, just meeting another person and without even saying that word, what Neha said, that communication from silence, that can communicate only when the other person has gone through that what is endurance of life, either by themselves or to observe that. So this was for me, this was not just upskilling. It is, though it is, it's not just to that. There is so much of what to say, I totally trust on human vibes. But for me, that is something which I experience when we meet physically one to one. But here, even virtually, that human vibe, that emotions, it you can feel it either through our practices or through our stories or the way we express. So yes, the community could be virtual, but as Nisha very well expressed, it is community of love, trust, that forgiveness, and which is all coming through stories. So if there is social media at one side, which is taking such a backups, but here there is a digital media, digital community, not media. So we are creating a digital community. So congratulations for that. And thank you also for that. And so much love to all of you and to you especially. And congratulations to every performer today. I totally enjoyed all your stories and performance. And I could see that part of you were already in that story.
Yeah, and we do give certificates, but they're so meaningless, isn't it? How can a piece of paper tell you're a storyteller? And I think pretty much the certification in India has very little meaning anyway. So I think it's more to do with marketing of a course being certified. Because what's the point of a certificate that tells you a storyteller if you can't tell a story, if you don't feel storytellerish? So I think today is this is your certificate that you showed up here and you told a story to 100 plus audience, many loved ones, many strangers, many peers. I think this is what you should consider your certificate. So yes, I do declare you graduated in storytelling, and yeah, let's have that celebration. um, Sumangala is also feeling the urge to speak, and so I welcome Sumangala. Please speak.
I mean, the first day I did not want to speak. I did not want to even tell my name, but I thought this is the opportunity to say something. I remember missing the last session, I missed the fourth and fifth session, and I was like, the last session I want to attend anyhow. But due to my class timings and all, I came home at 9:15, and you won't believe, at 9:15 I was like, I'll sleep for 15 minutes, and I just slept and I woke up at 12:30. And I almost fell into regret for 3 4 days, that I missed the last day. How could I do that? But then you send those messages that there's going to be an event. And I was like, that cannot be my last day. This has to be my last day. I cannot miss this opportunity anyhow. And at first, I was hesitant. I could not pick up a story till the last moment. And I thought, no, because I was going into, I was thinking of stories like those names. I could read on the groups. The rabbit listened, Lorax, then Mr. X was something stories. I was searching for those kind of stories. But then I thought to myself, I am doing it for the first time, so I should pick up something that resonates with me. And this was a story I heard some 2 years ago. A professor came to our class for teachers training and he recited this story. And it was very close to my heart. So I thought, why not give this story? And I did it. And I'm so thankful to all of you. Dr. Swati and Meghna helped me, go through that first anxiety. I sent them my story and I was like, is it okay for this event? And they were so welcoming and so approachable. I mean, uh, I have not met people like these, so loving without even knowing each other, and so kind, so generous. I mean, I'm in love with this community. And thank you so much, everyone. And I'm so glad this is my last day. And I hope there are many to come. So thank you very much, everyone. It was a lovely experience, a moment, memory to cherish my lifetime.
Thank you, Sumangala. Thank you so much. I do actually remember the first session, and I was going around asking people to perhaps unmute themselves, perhaps tell their name, and Sumangala felt like that is too much to do. That's to openly unmute themselves and speak in front of like a group of strangers felt too much. And I could actually understand that, Sumangala. And from that day to this, when you actually told a story and your students were here, that is such a special moment. And in 5, 10 years, my wish for you is that perhaps you'll walk into a session and one of your student might be telling one of your story. And that is the day when this cycle will complete itself and you would feel like, yeah, you have served the purpose. So thank you. Thank you, Sumangla.
Thank you.
For revealing your heart. Your storytelling was pretty much just talking from the heart, actually. Like it was not any made up story. It was just a person coming in front of people and sharing their heart. And that is what made it beautiful. That is what made it so beautiful. So thank you, Sumangla. And this community you talk about and the beauty you talk about, it's you and people like you who make this. Otherwise, this community is nothing. It's the pack which is made of every single wolf. And without the wolf, there is no pack. So I think, yeah, we often don't see it in ourselves. I think this happens to a lot of us as teachers because of the school and the weight of the schools and the syllabus and the curriculum and the administration and the parents, and going back to homes where there are so many expectations and so much fear of society. We we put so much weight on ourselves, so much fears, so much that we almost lose this voice, isn't it? And someday you walk into a space and you start to like say it a little bit and feel like it's okay. Was it okay? Was it okay? And then you say a little more and it is accepted. And then you say a little more to this day. Then now you come and tell a story. And I can very well imagine you in 30. If you have learned this in 3 months, in another 3 months, you're going to tell us a half an hour worth of story, like a long story that goes on for half an hour, and we'll be just equally glued to you. So thank you so much, Sumangla. And we look forward to you
Thank you.
hearing more and more from you in the sessions to come. So
Thank you.
there's no easy way to say goodbye. So we should start saying it one by one.